Alright, hey, hi, hello. How's it going, guys? My name is ZetaRayZod and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Now, before I begin, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on to stay up to date on all my latest videos. So, last we left off, we kind of spent a lot of our time just kind of looking through the clues and stuff, talking to people. We met Herlock Sholmes, who seems to be convinced that we are a Russian revolutionary based on the science of deduction, which, like I said in the previous episode, is not entirely accurate, because his reasoning is that Kazuma wrote in Cyrillic, which means he was Russian, because in your dying moments you will speak in your native tongue. And because we were wearing the same outfit, he assumed that I was Russian too. So, that's kind of where we left off. We also found something a bit suspicious about the next door cabin, because there was a speckled band in the ventilation that leads to the next room. So Herlock Sholmes went to investigate, and we see Hosonaga that's undercover again. I mean, I clocked him in the anime opening for this episode, so... Okay, let's see. Special orders. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? He likes the sailor uniform. I'm so sorry. Huh? This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. Wow, you messed up, bro. It was Mr. Justice Jigoku. I'm just thinking Jigoku means hell, doesn't it? In Japanese. And he's the Minister of Justice. Very apt name. Tengoku. Jigoku. Yeah, I think Jigoku means hell. He'll push for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. That's pretty... that's pretty accurate. Like, I mean accurate, not really accurate, but like, very specific. Like, he's just a student going to Japan. Why would he be assassinated? Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? Yeah. I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board. From morning until night. Every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin. Not here in the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment. And Asogi-san is dead as a result. Yeah, man. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word. Permission to investigate. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not. We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. Come on. Sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door. That stormy-looking seaman there would Seaman, sorry. That would surely snap your neck in two. Suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm gonna need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how... Do it! Lay your life on the line. There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence now, Hosonaga, by presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? It's just the same as when you're in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel, and to choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yeah. I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. Take that! It's present, isn't it? Yeah. This thing. It's gotta be this, right? Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe doors this morning, isn't it? That's right. They tried to stop the cabin steward opening it up and discovering me. Wouldn't it have been better to write it in English if you didn't know Russian? Maybe, but Ofuda paper amulets like this are a part of our culture, Inspector. I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside. Good. It isn't easy being a stowaway, is it? Wait, what? That's not the evidence I need? But that should be it, right? Ah, speckled band, right. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote what looks like some kind of speckled band and is dangling from the ventilator grill. Oh, my nose is so itchy. Speckled band, that is strange. Yeah, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. The ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right, so we can investigate it there. We might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But, what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. My nose is so itchy. What the heck is going on? Thank you. I seized the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just a light move and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. First class passageway. What the hell is that thing on the floor? At first glance it looks like a mousetrap, but that seems a bit too intricate. And that cheese looks too big. Whew. Finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on the study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh boy, it's big boy number 2. Oh, look over there. This is another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. He's so enormous that the shirt doesn't fit. Look at that, you can see his belly button from there. Door next to him leads to second-class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in who shouldn't. Suppose? Like people in handcuffs? Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. You've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yeah, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's truck when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. Must have been a very trying time for you. Please, don't give me that pitying look. Okay, let's examine this area first. Oh crap, I need to use my mouse for some reason. Okay, oh, what the heck is that thing? Ah, a trap for catching mice. That is a really big block of cheese, though. Yeah, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. What is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows. Cheese? I don't know what that tastes like. Oh, do we not have cows in Japan? You can't eat it now, Hodo-san. That trap will snap shut in your fingers. Really? But, I suppose you're right. You weren't actually gonna try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later. Love is an open door. Open a door. First class cabin number 1. Yeah, that's our cabin. Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-sama's. Sorry? Your accommodation's confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin. You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. These cabins are the finest on the ship. My own cabin in steerage is number 539, by the way. 500 and... How many cabins are there? Let's look at this bell. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says press only in times of emergency. Looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship. And brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh. This I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhoda-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. Wish everything would just stop. The ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Wow. That's pretty apt. You know, if you're gonna do something foolish, don't let others... If you're gonna drink and drive, don't, because you're affecting other people. Just saying. You wanna do something silly? Don't. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. They need to remind me. It's the one the ventilator connects to. Yeah, the ventilator for which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Oh, yeah. Oh, excuse me. We, need to get inside this cabin here. Sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out. That's what I wrote on the sign we put over the wardrobe doors. Although this man's version is definitely more effective. Doesn't look like he's gonna let us pass. That's a problem. So he runs all the way there, he just like sprints to the door, blocks you, and then if I want to go out, he sprints back and like stops me. Ship section. Okay, let's look at this. This looks like a plan of the SS Burya. Shows each deck. Look. The Burya is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. Well, it's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple now, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. Archipelago? Archipelago? I think that's how you say it, right? It feels like the tone is wrong. The islands of Japan? Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. I don't think islands are floating, yo. I think it's a big landmass. Someone should tell her. Well, I suppose so. There's a huge book on top of the table there. There's a pen next to it. Yeah, that looks like the ship's log. Should we have a little look through it? The writing's so neat, precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. Huh. I wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Whoops, my mouse was there. And nothing. No reaction at all. I thought I might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure that rough and ready is much of a compliment now to Hodo-san, even to a sailor. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Or he wasn't here. You're a bit sus, my boy. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. You know what? Let's give him a better voice. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class ladies' maid? Big boy, I have a nice voice. Oh, you seem to have caught this sailor on a bad day, Susato-san. I'm not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman Biff Stroganoff. Aha! Aha! You mean like the food, the beef stroganoff? Very clever. Whew. Best thing is just avoid eye contact, I think. First class cabin area. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Burya steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That's why I'm always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. Yeah, you know what? Stroganoff has a nice handwriting. I assume he has a nice, you know, like a flowy voice, you know. Something you wouldn't expect. But somehow, I let stupid stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean, but Stroganoff is not an animal. Thank you? To like edging away slowly. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next door to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? Duh. He says duh. Duh. I'm pretty sure that's duh. Susato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like duh. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Or no. Niet is no. Genius. It's not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Herlock Sholmes is in there, isn't he? Yeah, it's tantalizing. Passenger in next door cabin. What's he like? What's the person like? Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mrs. Sogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. Wow. I don't know what pun that is. He's a very important Western gentleman. Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott's authentic Western gentleman. German, I was gonna say German. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands. What is with this white supremacy shit? It's like all the white peeps in the game so far seem to be like not too nice to the Japanese peeps. Oh, Asian peeps, I don't know. It seems like it's Japanese for now. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is none of your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Can you feel if someone's next door to you? That's pretty cool. Well, presumably, since this gentleman's occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. Cool, Stroganoff. Are you gonna watch her all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Duh. All times. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? You weren't here, were you? It is sad about Student Boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual? Niet. Susato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly a no. I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or said anything was wrong in some way? He's avoiding glances. That's a lie. I think it's what? If you look to your left, you're lying? Is that right? I have no clue. Was either left or right? One or the other. Sorry. Not so sure. I could have sworn that you wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. You're right. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh, it's time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yeah, alright. Bulkhead is second class area staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or, as English say, when the pigs fly. Cool. Yeah, okay, I got it. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Chugga chugga. Is there anything else I can be looking at? Door. That's the way to second-class area of the ship. Something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it, just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. Might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman will surely shoot you dead. Cool, don't feel like running anymore. Dear, sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, it started with my talk of running away. There's no way I can run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. Oh, why is the ship logs not like that? Book atop the table there really is huge. Kind of it too. Why isn't it like ticked? Yep. Last night's log is mostly blank. Yeah, come on. It's nice that they add, like, you know, the moment he's not around, they remove that that little extra bit of dialogue where they compliment him and he doesn't say anything. Okay, keep going now. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve... Oh, sorry. Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve the particular mystery. Let's ask. Knock knock. Isn't Herlock in the room? No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. Must have been a woman. Stand aside. He was just like hiding behind us while we were looking at it like that. He was just like right there. About to break the door down. It's Sholmes! I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. Doors doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? And how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick? I think we should go in. Still time to think about stress relief. January. Who are you? Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, nobody but me in cabin. That's the revolutionary from the newspaper. True. This old man does appear to be the only person in here. But the books are moved to the left as well. The books and the statue. Get out, all of you, now! Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are? I'm the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You heard of me, no doubt. No. I'm a great detective about great detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. He just takes it out like that. So I assure you may trust me completely. The man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective! Do not trust detectives. I distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. That looks a lot like this guy. Shoop. I'm afraid I can't read a word of Russian. No, me neither. No idea what any of this says. The pair of you floundering is a sorry sight. Allow me to offer some assistance. The article on the front page of the newspaper is considered a fearsome Russian revolutionary. It reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Yeah, you told us that before. It reveals also that those who see the man's beard with their own eyes never live to tell the tale. Oh my goodness, he is fearsome. Well, presumably the newspaper photographer was alright, wasn't he? The solution's obvious, of course. If he despises his beard to that degree, he need only shave it off. I'm not quite sure that's a problem, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, that's why he's doing the scissors. He's gonna cut it off. There would appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold to ask you to open that small traveling case? Yeah. There's a small woman in that thing, Sholmes. What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone He's a Russian, right? How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yeah, the case just shook. Wait, is there really a small girl in there? Leave, no. Otherwise I call Stewart. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man's hiding something. I can't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before the burly sailor returns. I'ma just look around your room while you just stand there. This, what the? Why is this? What do you think you're doing? This is my cabin. Get out. Can we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No. What a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with the Mr. Roylott. Give a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes. You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe while waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. Oh! And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually you're spot on for once. Good. Observe closely. A Russian... He has a newspaper in his pocket. Host in his cabin. Mr. Roylott's clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what was the most effective weapon we use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russians will react when the secret he guards so closely exposed? Would you like to witness it? Yes, please! He's gonna say something stupid. Well then, what are you about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Ding! Could this man be more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you. Or anyone. That's right, and Mr. Sholmes. I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially in first meeting, but I once read it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Confirmation bias. Shh, let's have complete silence. Confirmation bias, in case you don't know what that means. Because, you know, I just like to talk about psychology. It's fun. Confirmation bias is more of a sense like... It's kind of like, if you assume someone is guilty, anything and everything you find, you will find evidence that points towards them being guilty, no matter... even though there's evidence that says otherwise. So that's confirmation bias. So with that regard, that's why the power of deduction is a bit sus as well. It's not completely accurate because obviously once you have deduction, which is you have a theory in mind, right? You're obviously going to have confirmation bias and you're going to look for evidence that points towards what you believe is happening. So, you know. Anywho, I digress. What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yeah, I've quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number one, the true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. He's probably just gonna cut off his beard. Are you not? Who? And number two, the other conclusion I've drawn, you are, at this very moment, no less in the midst of committing the most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I'd witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction? Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? He's turning a bit purple. What an ineffable twaddle! Oh yes! I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. It's like a dream come true. Adventures of Herlock Sholmes is... Okay, I want to digress a bit more now, just a little bit. Like, I'm just wondering who wrote it. Is it Watson, like in the books? Because in the books, it is Watson who writes about Sherlock Holmes' adventures. Or are they breaking the fourth wall here? And are they talking about Sir Arthur Conan Doyle? Like the real writer, the creator of Sherlock Holmes. Because the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, it sounds like something Sir Arthur would... Arthur? What's going on? My brain's not working. Sir Arthur would have wrote. But maybe it's Watson, but Watson's dead. Looks like somehow both of Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right. How could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So, do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let's board the train of reasoning. What a nerd. Plainly, let's work through my deductions together. The game is afoot. Old man's identity. So the deepest looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place. It's the enormous pair of shears in her hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could she possibly want in such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. That's actually spot on. Now moving on. Whoa, foo! He just does a twirl and points. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article, which, it would appear, you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, "Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai." As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. The guy's a bit too thin, though. But maybe it's the picture. Wait, the camera adds 10 pounds, doesn't lose 10 pounds. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, villain Bolshevik. Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand? A revolutionary on the run. Wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion, You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to lead their eyes astray, you see. And I assure you, the eye speaks so much more eloquently, and honestly, than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. That's true. That's actually very true. In terms of psychology, when an emergency is happening or when you're under duress, you will look at the thing you value the most. When it comes to a mom, you look at children, and you look at your child. But when it comes to like people, other things, you look at your most prized possession. So he looked at the suitcase, so obviously the suitcase is the answer. Proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse! What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps. What's slight enough to fit therein? I was thinking more like a dog or a cat. Don't be absurd! Oh, he's sus though. What, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in traveling case? Dear me, we're not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Raquel's could... I don't know how to pronounce that. Betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. It's the princess? No, it's the ballerina. For there's another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page, there's no way she can fit in that. She's so tall. Look at her. Renowned prima ballerina of Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Her crime is that of abduction. According to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. I don't know. I don't think she can fit in that small suitcase, though. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elemensky. I don't think so. He might be right about the beard, but I think the suitcase... I don't think so. Sato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, can you come over here a moment? Could you just come here? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... these two men look nothing like each other. Ah, yes, I recall a discussion earlier, and at the time, I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary. Well able to revolutionize his own appearance. In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. And another thing, the part about him abducting ballerina, indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case if you push really hard. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady's 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? How do you know? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Very true. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies. Vinegar. For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself to the confines of that small case. Oh dear. You might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning to circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of the matter instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. The idea of maybe a little off itself, Mrs. Sato. It's just one or two keywords his deductions seem to be letting down. So I was wondering, you might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Huh. Switch some keywords to his deductions. Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure we could do that. We'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. It spends a lot of work. At times I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. Ah, and you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? My handcuffs are gone! Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you're a marvel. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrist when you're finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright, part 2. With me this time. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott. Obviously what catches the eye in the first place. I see an enormous pair of shears in your hand. Sure. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? Not that's something that I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. Doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either. Which means, I suppose, that the deduction's wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here, not to hold aside, and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott. What if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on? Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest of your capable hands now to hold aside. What am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's start if there's anything we could even use to switch around that last sentence. What exactly is Mr. Roylott really gonna use those enormous shears for? Golden locks? Huh. What's this? It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. No. The color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylott's head? And how is it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Is he a fake? Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here. Maybe this is the ballerina. Wait, how do I freak? What the? Okay, if I press down, it goes like this and twirl. I don't think it's a thick hat. Can I go down? Shoo. I think it's the hair. I thought it might be in the newspaper, but it could be the hair. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise details intended to expose. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman. Judging from the length and sheen of your hair. One's still very much in her youth. Oh no. If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. Evidence that reveals your true identity. Article about the revolutionary. Yeah, it's wrong. It's the article about the ballerina. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise. Did you? What? Why are you you staring at me like that? Yeah, it was a surprise. Naruhodo-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts of Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. Strictly business, not strictly Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true. Given that Mr. Royla is actually a woman. Exactly, he, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole is taking a different direction now. Yeah. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. Hi! The evidence that reveals her true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right. You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina. Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Oh wow. See? How does she pull off the wig without taking off the hat? You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Ballerina on the run. Solved. Alright. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this episode here because we're kind of like slowly uncovering things. I'm not sure how she's involved in Kazuma's death. I think it might be unrelated, but I don't know. I really don't know. From what I can see so far, I have no clue. I don't think she's a murderer. So it might be one of the crewmates. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. So in the next episode, we'll find out more. We'll finish off the second conclusion, and then I guess she'll allow us to search her room and stuff, and then we'll find out more. But for now, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, be sure to like, subscribe, and get that bell on so you stay up to date on all my latest videos. As always, be safe, take care, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace!